Hey everybody, hope you're having a nice day. Had a good weekend. It's about 8 o'clock over here, so do a little streaming before the end of... God, today, what is today? It's Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, phew, Sunday. Lost track of the days over the weekend. Yeah, Sunday. It is definitely Sunday. Let's hop out of here. So the title of the stream is close to what I wanted to do, which is just not really practice speedrunning. I guess you could call it practice speedrunning if you wanted to. There's a timer and everything on there. Oh, wait a minute. I think it double clicked over there. I think there's something up with my timer. Let's config that really quick. It must be double clicking there. This was a little bit annoying earlier. I tried to get it to start timing on the correct time, and occasionally it didn't. Still started at Andario. Config auto spin, game start. Yes, let's stop this one. Change the settings over here. Double tap. Okay, save that. Does that do it? Let's see if that'll do it. Nope.
Good day.
Maybe I need an extra split on there. Let's add one of these over here and in our layout. Go into the nope, that's not what I wanted. I mean, those are all correct. Maybe over here in the auto split. Nope. Well, we could always do it manually. Let's just disable it. I should still be able to do it manually. Yeah, we can do that. Starts on 8.
Good day.
That's weird. Wasn't doing that a minute ago. Here we were. Let's say that one. Nope. Yep, start split's 8. Global hotkeys is enabled. Yeah, that is very strange. I don't know why it's doing that. Here it is, working just fine previously. And as soon as you start, split for existing carriers, no. Yeah, leave it at 8 and 9. Game start, yep. We'll just add an extra split in there. We'll just say, I don't know. No, I don't want to start that. Well. Yep, do those, and we'll just let it run through Andario. That way we don't mess around too much, and if all the splits are off a little bit, that's alright. I wasn't planning on being able to finish it all tonight anyway, so rather than spend the 2.5 hours I do have on messing with splits, we'll just let the split run a little bit bad. Since we're not going to be able to get anywhere near completed tonight, we'll just run it with what we've got. So I say not a speed run, because it's not going to be a speed run. It's going to be the closest that I can manage to something that resembles walking quickly through the game. That would be a good description of what we're going to be able to accomplish here. I wouldn't say that I would be like a novice to the game. I've played enough of the game to understand what has to be done. But getting it done, well, now that's an entirely different matter. But at least for right now, running through the Bloodmoor, pretty straightforward in the sense that we just set our TP back there at the den. We go out here, we kill as much stuff as we can on our way over to Cold Plains, which to get there is just a matter of following the trail. In fact, almost all of Act 1 is just follow the trail. Cool, we got a stamina potion, that'll help. Fulminating potion will help. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Fire Blast, because that'll be our primary killer up until about level 12 or so. We're just going to be fire blasting stuff. We don't need actually, we can get a poison shrine, get some choking gas potions, which we can't actually use until what level is that we need? 16. But at any rate, we got choking gas, so it'll be a little while before we can use that. We'll hold on to a key just in case we get anything else. We'll hit our waypoint here, go back to the rogue encampment, and then jump back over into the den. I don't know how any of the maps work in den other than kill everything down here, so that's exactly what we'll do. Try to collect some items. At the moment we're going to keep using the Qatar, but eventually we'll switch over and use a dagger as we go. Because everything that, in terms of laying traps, is based on your attack speed. So we want stuff like a dagger that has a fast attack speed, or in that case, a very fast attack speed. Like such. We got that charm, which will be nice. That'll hopefully sell for something, but we'll see. Looking at it, keeping an eye out for anything that'll sell for any amount.
I need mana.
Guy managed to raise way too many of these little fallens. But that's how it goes. Throwing knife, could sell for something. And evidently there's somebody else somewhere. Oh, there he is. It's resin people over here. We do need a mana pot, because we are low. Or a level up works. Rejuvenation potion also works. We're not playing hardcore, but we are going to more or less be just pumping vitality. We'll get up to like, I don't know, 25 strength or something should be enough. He just rezzed somebody over here, didn't he? Of course he did. Another stamina pot, that'll help us run along a little bit. Sounds like something fell over there. Plenty of shamans out here today. Stamina pot, that's good. At least we don't have to buy any more stamina pots. Nothing that's really gonna sell, though. I mean, we've got that Grand Charm, that'll be nice, but no, like, wands or decent daggers or anything like that. Superior boots, I mean, we'll wear them, but they're not gonna sell for anything. We don't really even need to wear them.
Not enough money.
Rare buckler, just about the most useless thing that we could get on here. We're not going to wear any shields because we don't actually want to block anything. There's some javelins, those will sell for something. Be something anyway. Head over here. Should be the last few guys over here as long as this guy's not rezzing too many people. Should be one more guy left. See if he's over there in the corner. Oh wait, there's two. Well, hopefully he didn't res a bunch of people and they're just hanging out next to each other. There's one. Shoot. That means somebody is floating around here in the corner somewhere that got rezzed. But we're just gonna keep playing with no regard to how bad a Den of Evil might be. I'm really confused about the timer too, because it auto-split the wrong one. This is a little unfortunate, but somebody got rezzed as we were going, but I suppose if we have to run all the way back to the beginning and we still don't find the one who got rezzed, okay, fine, we'll restart that. There he is. Head over to Akara, grab a skill from that.
I am you.
Try and sell some stuff. Sell jabs, sell these. We'll at least identify, yeah, sure, 4 strength. That keeps us from really having to buy anything else. Wow, what a junk cap. And a buckler. Didn't sell for anything. We'll just pick up some mana pots. We do want to keep an eye out for a 2-socket short staff. But given that we only have 700 gold, I would imagine even if we found one, we wouldn't be able to buy it. But we pretty much just keep going into Fire Blast for now. Run out through the cold plains. We'll kill everything that we can. Oh, I accidentally put that buckler on. We're going to take that off. We'll just hit the fire enchanted. Just take that buckler off. And we'll just let these guys kind of run together for us, because we don't want to bother using our Fire Blast on things that only come in little groups of like 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that. That is a weird, I have no idea how to interpret that map. There was like a 4-way intersection there. So we'll just pick a direction and run over here. There's a little group here. Nice little farm over there, but we'll just keep on running. Get them all to group up here for us. Excuse me. Let's hope that this is not the burial grounds. Of course it is. So we gotta go find the other direction that one goes off to. Pop a stamina pot here so we can keep running. I don't know if that tees off right here or not. No, that's just a little blank line right there. It looks like that just kind of loops around to the cave, so I'm guessing it's over here to the left is the direction we want to go. Keep on keeping on. No unique bosses. So we mostly skip the regular groups like these unless they come in fairly large groups, because they don't give very much experience compared to the boss groups. So not much reason to kill most of them. But when they pile up in a group like that, and it only takes a couple of these to kill them, sure, you can take care of those. So the stony field's going to lead us over to, eventually, the underground passage. Oops. Which could either be in a wall or out in the middle here. It just kind of depends. Now if we can stand way off screen here, we can kill Rakanishu without ever actually getting
Not enough mana.
up close to Rakanishu, but it looks like he wandered off somewhere. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. I see him sitting over there. He hits. Nice and hard.
I need mana.
Cool. Oh, nice. He dropped a wand. We can sell that. And actually, there's a dagger, too. I'm going to keep using the Qatar for the moment, or whatever it is we're using. Because it gives us a little bit of physical damage, so it's nice if we don't want to use our Fire Blast on everything. We can just walk up and hit stuff and still get a mild amount of damage to it. And so coming into the underground passage, it's supposed to run straight. So it's just a question of figuring out what's straight relative to the direction we're in.
Not enough mana.
Cool. Grab all of those and keep running. And I'm also saving that point because saving the point will let us get
I need mana.
burst of speed here at level 6. Just move a little bit faster. That wolf head could potentially sell. Looks like straight is going to be kind of up and to the right here, so we did a little bit of unnecessary running there. Heading up in this direction. So we generally want to keep going sort of in that direction to look for the exit, sort of up here to the right. Or I guess northeast would be our corner up here. But it could do crazy things like, loop around to one side or something like that, which is kind of what it's doing here. But we should enter the tile that contains the exit sort of in this direction. Or we can just miss it too, right? That's always, it's never not an option to just miss it. I kind of hope we missed it. No, apparently we didn't. Okay, dark wood. Go ahead and pick up that strangling gas. Although we already have area of effect spells. I mean, with the fire blast, so it's not really necessary to have strangling gas, but just in case. Excuse you. Obviously, tons of places where I can improve on here, not the least of which is getting used to Fire Blast, exactly where it falls. It doesn't, if you aim it at a particular point, it takes a while to get there. So you want to aim where the monster will be, not where the monster is. Like that was where the monster is, so it didn't hit all of them quite as well. I thought I had another stamina potion, but apparently I don't. So we're just out here in the Black Marsh looking for a couple of different things. I mean, experience is always nice too, so we can just kind of plow over everybody out here. Grab that sash, so that we can have a couple of extra belt slots. But we are looking for the waypoint and the way out, which we just found the way out. And actually we also happened to find the tower, which is right here, so we'll head over here and drop a TP, and then hopefully the waypoint's
Not
gonna
enough mana.
be fairly close to
I
this.
need mana.
Waypoint, singular. Because we're going to want to run the tower a few times to get the runes we need. Quality shot.
Not enough.
Cool. That'll let us get our burst of speed. I thought she was cold enchanted. I thought I had noticed myself slow down. Large axe, we'll skip that. Boy, it doesn't look good for a waypoint, does it? But we can go ahead and get our burst of speed here and set that to V. Managed to miss the waypoint. Ooh, she is cold enchanted, but we'll see if we can fight our way through him. Nice.
I need mana.
There's a dagger there, we can end up selling that. But we'll go back, heal, and sell stuff at Akara. Put that dagger there.
The order welcomes you.
Sell the wand. Mana per kill, okay. 423. 4 mana per kill, or mana stolen, we don't really need. Let's get a couple more mana pots, and we'll double check now that we've got a little bit of gold. We will try to find, there's a 2 socket for 272, cool. So we'll hold on to that, because we will want it later. What's the duration on here? 2 minutes. Not a great waypoint position,
Who would want to remember this place?
but that's what we got. Of course they're cold
Not enough
enchanted,
mana.
but with burst of speed we can kind of dodge some of them, so that we can do stuff like that, which is nice. Problem is I am terrible at noticing when burst of speed wears off, so we'll try and keep an eye on it. Tower is pretty easy in terms of its layout, especially since we're on single player and it's going to keep its layout. But each time we just go left of whatever our tile set is. Or roughly left, anyway. Trying to keep an eye out for any boss groups, which there's really not been very much. There's one. Uh-oh. We should run in the direction that we need to get out, not in the direction that we've already been. Cool. There's him. We can drop that scimitar too. We don't need that. Poke off to the left here. Just run on past everybody.
I need mana.
Might be able to kill everything here, get our level up before we deal with the Countess, because that will give us... let's do one more in Fire Blast for now, and then we'll put the next one into Burst of Speed. But for now, we still want to be able to kill stuff fast.
I need mana.
Take care of the archers sitting around her. And then she might be better off just physical because of her fire and enchanted nature. She can resist our stuff pretty well. Cool. Alright, I mean, we got 2 Talrons. It's not a bad start. Probably should have picked up those strangling gas. We don't need an armor shrine. I mean, it is nice with a longer run. At least we have these 3 shrines right here, so we might be at, well, okay, 2, because that one's always going to be a health shrine. But at least we'll be able to get some experience shrines as we go along through there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh man, are they always going to be archers? We'll just keep doing that. Got a wolf head. Another sash, but we don't need a sash. You guys aren't anything. Not very good bosses. We might end up kind of poking off to one side here to find out if we can get another boss group in one of these areas. I mean, at least that's a super chest each time. Grab that stamina potion too. So at least there's that one. That'll hopefully give us something. Head on down to level 4, see what we got. That, I believe, would be an L shape on it. So we get right here.
I am overburdened.
Grab that
Not
amulet,
enough mana.
and then just keep on running. Should have picked up that mana pot, but it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Let's go ahead and put one into Burst of Speed here. And then we'll just kind of go back and forth here a little bit on Burst of Speed. And of course they're cold enchanted. Why would they not be cold enchanted? Try and back away so we at least don't get that.
I am overburdened.
Grand Charm, throwing knife. Sure, we'll put the Grand Charm here.
I need mana.
Nice thing as we do more and more damage with the Fire Blast, which again you can see we still do more damage just hitting the counters. Let's see. Okay, cool. Tier and Ral. So that gives us almost everything that we need. We just need an F now, which is pretty darn good. Let's sell some of this stuff.
Yes?
Sell the throwing knife, grab a couple of these. We can probably buy a book now too, a tome. Oops, wrong one. Hey, all res 6, 2 to strength. Like, not a bad little starter. I mean, in fact, we'll probably just keep that the whole time. Put that there. We'll stack these guys into here, all of which could, of course, be done faster. But I want to get over to my stash too and put my wand away, staff, whatever, as well as all of my runes. because I don't want to accidentally put the runes into anything. And for now, we're going to put that strangling gas on there so that we can... I don't really know if we're ever going to use strangling gas, though, like, compared to what we've already got. Just don't know if we really need a strangling gas or not. But anyway, it's there if we need it. Can do things like this. Oh wait, no, it's on the other hand, yeah. I don't know. I think our Fire Blast is ultimately going to be a better way to go there. I don't think we really need to mess with strangling gas. I'm sure there's a way to do it efficiently, and I don't know what that way is. But for the time being, we'll just leave it. And I think maybe once we're done with Countess, actually, you know what we could do? Put the dagger there, and we'll just use the dagger until we get to the Countess. And then once we get to the Countess, shoot, I forgot to buy mana pots. Where'd you go? Back away. Mana. Leave the jawbone. And then when we get to the Countess and we actually need to do some physical damage, we can do that. That scepter might sell for something if it's got some plus skills on it. We're keeping an eye out for 2-socket armors as well. At least those will be something that we can put our stealth armor into. Let's go ahead and put that back into Fire Blast because we've got a decent move speed here. Nice thing about archers is if you can dodge them. Kind of got hit right in the face right there. But if you can't dodge them, they stay in one spot, so it's a little bit easier to take them out. And then we'll just keep poking away at the Countess. Hoping for a tier, we got a Row. Fanged Helm might sell for something. Okay, we cannot forget to get potions.
The Order welcomes you.
Sell it. We'll go ahead and identify the one. Cool. And then we're pretty good with these. There we go. We'll grab... I think we're actually pretty good on stamina pots right now. The extra Ral runes would help if we were going to get all the way to Act 5. I just don't have plans... Or sorry, Act 4. I don't have plans to be able to actually get that far tonight. So, even though we would ultimately benefit from the Rals, probably not going to end up actually using them. Run off to the left. So avoid as best we can getting slowed down by them. Didn't do it very well. Superior throwing knife, that'll sell for a little bit. Preserved head seems to be all that's dropping from that rack from that angle. Never gonna have a mercenary, so Hunter's Bow doesn't help us. Well, excuse you. Extra fast, that's
I need
Good
mana.
hit. Sounded like a charm drop in there. Cool. Pick up the charm, keep on running. Grab that mana pot there. We could do this up until about like maybe 12 or so. It'd be nice if we could get out of here by 12. Level 12, I mean, not 12 in terms of time. Oops, not gonna get out early doing that.
I need mana.
I think we'll spend the next one probably on Fire Blast, because we'll do it on Burst of Speed. I forget what we spent the last one on. But we'll do Burst of Speed here. Winston and Mir seem to be very upstairs at something. I don't know if you can hear them. Whoops. Of course he would have that aura on him. Pick up anything we've got here. Boys seem to have settled down upstairs. It's not true. Winston's still going crazy. Oh, he just gave his last little bark. I think I'm done. Come on, Countess. Give us what we need. What are you guys doing? And we got an F. No good. Let's see. Trash
Good
these
day.
runes. I'm just gonna go sell that Neff because there is 0 chance. Actually, we can sell those too. Never gonna use any of those. Yeah, we can sell all that.
Good day.
Oops. Poison damage, nothing. Let's sell these chipped because we don't need those right now. I'll sell the choking. We're pretty much good. We've got enough potions that we can make another run out through there. Mana. Oh, see, there we go. Experience shine. So we're just gonna run with that down into the tower because it'll serve us much better if we can kill some boss groups with that instead of the randos that are back there. This. She's pretty much always spectral hit, isn't she? There we go. Spear and that time it was a wolf head, not a preserved head. Must have been coming at it from a different angle or something. Take a stash and a jawbone cap, sure. Sash and a jawbone cap. Hopefully a group right here. Cool, cool, cool. Didn't drop anything, but starting to pick up some more speed now that we can actually kill some stuff. Club, sash. Extra strong. He could have been in trouble. Grab these. If we don't have at least 3 burst of speed, yeah, we do. Okay, we'll go to traps. We do have at least 3, right? Yeah. We could probably use an extra one there. You know, we can use one of our bonus skill points from a quest somewhere along the way. Although I don't think we're going to get a bonus quest until Act 4. So might be a while. was running that whole time on a dagger instead of, or on a Qatar instead of a dagger. And a Nephrin. We don't need any of that. Go ahead and sell that. So once we hit 12, we will definitely go into, wow, that was a nice helm. Sure, it's mildly better than whatever we've got. You know, if I at least keep those, we could potentially cube up. Because I think the one right above Neff is a tier, so we'll hold on to it. I think I sold my other one though, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oh well. That's how it goes sometimes. But if we'd kept that other Neff, I think you cube 3 Neffs and get a tier, but I don't remember if that's exactly the direction it goes or not. Well, at least this time she was stone skin, not spectral hit. I wanted that rejuvenation, not the other one. Spear and a wolf head. I think we can stop looking at that rack now, although it's habit at this point to click on it. And a small shield. We can always shop 2 socket armor. It's not like it's difficult to come by. Nobody here. The amulet, although I can't imagine that we will be able to do any better than that amulet that we've currently got. It's a pretty nice amulet. Just run on past everybody here.
Not enough
Oops.
mana. Not enough mana.
Fire enchanted. Take it out that way. Of course, you didn't give us anything. Excuse me. Excuse me. Forgot how much that costs. Run around to the corner here. Come on, Tyr, or Ethrun, I mean. Ethrun, okay, we're out of here. Go ahead and put that in there, and then over in traps, we'll do Wake of Fire and switch that to F. Go sell some stuff.
Good day.
6 to energy, lightning. Drink that. Stock up on some potions. We're okay on portals and stuff like that. We can just sell that. We'll put our Ethrun over in our collection over here. So let's see, there is Tal Eth, which we need to be 17 for, and Tyral is 19. So we'll pretty much just be on dagger duty for a while. But now we run out. 2 fire shrines. And so when we're doing Wake of Fire, we're going to try to place them, if I can remember, try to place them in front of me in the direction that I'm running, because that's generally the direction that things are going to follow us. And then when we're doing bosses with Wake of Fire, it's a question of trying to manage about 2 of them up at any given time and shooting. Because they have next hit delay on them, I think. So it doesn't help to have, you know, like a dozen of them out. Because if you have that many out, it's not hitting them anyway. Excuse me. Alright, now with that waypoint way over here, I think that means that the outlet is, or the barracks are over here, but I am nearly always wrong. I know there's a pattern to them, I just don't know enough about what that pattern looks like to be able to figure it out. So it's not that way, it must be on the far other way. Excuse you. It's rather inappropriate. Drink a pot. Give us a burst of speed. Ignore the rogues. Alright, to get out of barracks, it's either left or straight. I don't know which one it is. We'll pick straight, apparently. It wouldn't be terrible to come across the smith. Is that a rune to drop back there? No, there's somebody's feet. But we don't really need to kill the smith. Like, we're not that worried about imbuing something. So if we don't come across the smith, that's okay too. If you're off to the left here. Jails 1 and 2 are supposed to be straight. So
Try and cage me,
for this one, we're running up and to the right, because that's straight relative to the way that we came in. Looks like, unfortunately, there's a lot of different things that can be straight. Just keep running up over here. Doesn't look like it's up here. Let's see, which other way could that be? That would be straight. Let's poke off to the right here and see if it's maybe right over there. Excuse me, folks. Cool. Jail 2 is also supposed to be straight. So we're gonna generally head down in this bottom right direction. Boy, it only takes like 2 of those things to grab that stamina in case we need it. Grab that mana potion, because we always need mana. Shouldn't have hit that well, but whatever. That's a dead end. If this turns off to the right, no, it does not. Kill some stuff while we're up there. Head down here and see if we can go straight. There it is. Wander our way around here. Unfortunately, Jail 3, I don't know which way that goes, so I'm just gonna wander around in Jail 3. That was easy. Left is nice. Take a stamina shrine too. Double bolts. Definitely don't need any bolts. We're doing okay on pots, so. Oops. 2 definitely seems to be enough to kill most things, so. We'll try not to lay down more than about 2 at a time. Try not to get too trigger happy here.
I don't like it down
Alright. Catacombs 1, no idea which way Catacombs 2 is relative to 1. Hopefully we just don't spend too much time rambling. It's not a good start. Oops. Oops. It does help to have the correct hotkey on. We'll get better at that as we go. Set that to kill the little munchkins that are bothering us. Nothing down here. Let's see. Maybe over here. Excuse you all. Nope, not down there. That's kind of unfortunate. Should have just gone through that door. Somehow I didn't manage to click on it. Nothing over there. We can trash our armor too. I'm not worried that that is apparently falling off of us. This looks promising. Grab some mana pots here.
Not enough.
Oh, they're still in over mine. Jeez, there's a lot of them. Cool. Keep going here. We'll get another one to wake a fire too. And then given how bad I am at running, I think the next one ought to be in burst of speed. So that we can run a little bit faster. Alright, Jail 2 is supposed to be, or sorry, Catacombs 2 is supposed to be right at the waypoint. So if we come across the waypoint, that'll at least give us a hint of which way we need to be going. Is that the waypoint over there? I can't see. No. Lots of doors. I don't think it's out there. I sure hope it's not like wrapping up and around that edge over there. We'll just run back out the way roughly that we can. Let's see. Let's try straight across. Cool. There's 3. Spike club. Sure. Maybe that'll sell for something. Those guys have a pretty high fire res, so we're not going to stick around trying to kill them. It's not going to be down in that area. Let's see what this is poking off to the left. Something extra fast, so we'll just throw some traps down and run away. How do you even get into that corner spot over there? What a bizarre little twist and turn here. We'll go check out that top right corner, or top left corner. Kind of has the makings of nothing, actually. Not up here. Closed off over there. We'll see what kind of luck we have down here on the bottom right, which I suppose it kind of has to be down here somewhere since it wasn't the other way. But it's just a question of which way. There it is. Just hop around over here. Winston's very upset at somebody out there. He's upset at everything these days, though. Now he's barking out the window at something. Probably nothing. I mean, it's Winston. Killer. Oh, of course he was cold enchanted. We'll throw some of these in here. I'm absolutely terrible at making it through this door and then closing it behind me. Yeah, like that. Come on over here, Raid. Just like this. Thank you, Andy, for dropping absolutely nothing except some hard leather armor and maybe a long staff that we can sell. Other than that, you did not help us very much, Andy. Okay, so like
Death
just looking at
becomes
the splits,
Oh, great. The
it knew to
caravan.
split,
Yes.
so we didn't screw up that portion. It's just a question of why did it, when we initially started,
Good day.
it didn't split correctly. Charm, 3 to mana, nothing. Sell it. It's got some hit recovery on it, so we'll hold on to that. Sell it. We don't need an emerald. We don't. I mean, I guess for helping us stock up here on potions, we can do that. But otherwise, we just do that and head on out. Alright, so these maps are supposed to run on like a square kind of pattern. And we are looking for... Halls of the Dead. We can check out those chain booties and see if they got anything. Hey, that I think is like our first ring of the entire game. Any good? That's something. A little bit of mana, not that much. And we can kind of drop traps out here too, because it'll manage to kill a fair amount of stuff. What is that shrine? I can't tell. Oh, it's a portal shrine. So this is where we kind of practice laying the traps in front of us, because that's generally the direction that these guys are going to want to run. It's towards us. Like such. Poke out here around the edge. And we are going to put this one, I think that'll probably be our last burst of speed. Because then we're going to get some more from stealth when we can finally put that on. Here's our way out. So out here, Dry Hills, we're looking for Halls of the Dead, as well as the way out. Waypoints don't hurt. Nice little checkpoint if we ever need it. What do you refund? Cool, here's Halls of the Dead. Okay, so Halls of the Dead, it's always supposed to be left, which I think means this direction with this particular setup. I don't know why I bothered doing that, but I did. This one is also left, which again I think means up in this direction. But it could, you know, wrap around one side or another, so this could go up and turn to the right, or we could have to go back down and sort of go down and up to the right, or up, yeah, I guess northeast corner is still left relative to the way that we came in, but I'm just not terribly sure. Potion. Maybe that quilted armor will have 2 sockets, which will save us a shopping trip. We'll see. Grab an experience shrine. Is it off to the left? Are you over here? Yep. It's ethereal, so it's not going to be worth anything. Alright, now this one is also supposed to be on the left. This is the one that I am least, like, confident in. Like, I have no idea which way is left for something like that. No, there's not a door over there. I don't know why I thought there was a door over there. So when we do eventually find...
Not enough mana.
the cube down here, I'm going to try to make a note of what that actually means to be left on a map like this. through here. Do you go out here and turn? That's left. Alright. Got our cube. I saw a couple of mana pots drop over there. We can go back to town. I don't know why I dropped that. Just clicked off of it for some reason. Put our cube here. Quick heal, and we are on the move again. Let's see. So this is supposed to be a square, and it's going to be on like an opposite corner. Let's see. So I think this would be a dead end, right? That's sort of the corner that we imagine, and we imagine a straight line running off in this direction. It should go straight over here. And that looks like a cliff. So let's hop up the cliff, and we'll check that far outside corner of the cliff. Let's see, are you over here? Scooch our way around this. No, you're not out here. But we'll keep running around the outside edge of the cliff here. Well, we're up on the cliff now. Not here, so we'll check over on the right. It's supposed to be in the corners, too, of the squares. So, check over here on this corner. I don't know if there's a pattern as to whether or not it's on, like, the left corner or the right corner. But see, we're, like, up in the top corner of that map. Drink our stamina potion. So we're out here in the far oasis now. Looking for a maggot layer. I mean a waypoint. I'm not going to turn down a waypoint. Hang out here. I mean, that's a pretty nice beetle burst waypoint. I'm pretty sure that was beetle burst that we just killed. So we could definitely come back here and do a little bit of beetle burst farming.
Not enough.
Flawed skull, not gonna help us at all. So I'm not gonna look down there because that wouldn't be a corner. But this is a corner up here. We're already level 15. I kind of hesitate to really do any beetle burst farming because I can't believe I kept running into that corner. Winston is very upset. Must be another dog outside. Like, we're already 15. We just kill so much stuff anyway in the normal course of us doing our thing. Tell you what, let's put a waypoint there. Since the outlet is here and that other waypoint, or put a turn portal there. The other waypoint is so far away. Cool. Lost City we just run through. Although we do need kind of a waypoint out here so that we can hop back to the maggot layer. So we'll keep an eye out here. Hopefully we'll get a waypoint sooner rather than later. Looks like there's a cliff system here again. Check up here. Like, we know where the layer is, the maggot layer is. So, not the end of the world if we don't get a waypoint. Because we can always just run back to it fairly quickly. Dry spot. Ooh. That's a bad dry spot. Run up here to the corner. Check this corner for whatever the valley is that we're going to next. Okay, so we didn't get a waypoint. We're gonna go to the Valley of the Snakes. Just run through the Claw Viper Temple. Let's see, Claw Viper Temple, we go left. Let's stock up on a couple more of those. Run through here. So this needs to turn off to the right up here, or it's going to be just a general dead end. She is just such a tank. I love it. Head off in this direction. There we go. Claw Viper 2. Where are you guys at? Down there? Take care of that. Heard an amulet drop over there. Grab that. Grab our other amulet, and then we'll just run to the...
Greetings on the sun again.
Oh, sorry.
Alden,
I need
good
Wharf.
day.
Thank you. And now we'll go back to the Far Oasis. Where did we find that maggot lair? Where are you? There you are. You're up the stairs. Excuse me. Head on over to the maggot lair, which is gonna stink. Maggot lair is not fun. Maybe what we'll do is farm. Hey, Bloodfist. Look at that. Not gonna get any better than that. Out of a random chest just sitting there. So 1 and 2 are off to the right. So we have to run off in this direction. Sadly, it's rather tight in here. You guys are actually champions. And everybody hurts, so hopefully we don't die down here. I forgot to get potions, which we're gonna need. That's a little unfortunate.
How may I help you?
You can heal me, that's how you can help me. Grab that. Can't believe we found a blood fist. How nice is that? 10 FCR, we don't really need that. Cool. Actually, we can get rid of the emerald too. We don't need that. So in the big rooms we can set traps, but in these little ones it's a little less useful to set a trap because they won't fire in very convenient directions. Oh my goodness. So we're looking for directions that run off in this way. Right, we are always... Wait a minute, did I say right? Yeah, Maggot Layer 1 and 2 is to the right, so... We keep looking for things that would come off in this direction. Doesn't look like you're
Not enough mana.
going in the direction we need over here. Go away, Rockworm. Nope. Okay, let's run up and to the right. See if that'll help us. See if this kicks off to the right at all. Looks like it's gonna. There we go. Fingers crossed. Cool. There's level 2. Now we gotta get to 3, which is also gonna be right of the way we came in. So this is gonna be, we're gonna be running, looking for ways to get out on the top right. And also ways to kill stuff. Did we get lucky that fast? Right up here? Nope. Cool. It sure wouldn't take very much to get us up to 17. Cool, here we are. And then maggot 3 is straight. I think I'm going to go ahead and make those rune words because we're going to have to go back to town here in a minute anyway, so we can pick up our 2-socket armor. Make our leaf stuff. Wow. You guys hit pretty hard. Let's go ahead and we'll use a juvie in there. So we're looking for things that head to the top right. Breastplate, don't need it. Like this. Head on out, and we'll talk to Farah and see if we can find some 2-socket armor. If she doesn't have any, then we will go back to, oh my god, Kane, stop talking.
Good day.
If she doesn't have any, then we'll go back to Act 1, armor. I can't wear any armor anyway, so we will just go back to Act 1 anyway. Rogue encampment.
Hi there.
Hi, Charcy. 2-socket. We'll head over and make this. We will make, let's see, Tau, Eth, Tier, Ral. We're going to carry the stealth around because we'll get that at 16. But for now, we don't need our leaf anytime soon because that is 19. Wow, Macabre, thank you.
Oh.
Hey everybody, nice to see you all.
You may not.
This is not...
You may not.
Oops, what did I forget to do? I did that. If the name of the stream is not an indicator, this is not a speedrun. This is me walking as fast as I can through as much of the game as I can. Thanks, McCall. And also the timers are all messed up because I figured I would rather just play than try to get the timers to work. And they did not. We're just going to skip those guys. Can we dodge them? Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and what's the last one? I think the last one is dodge. So for anybody in here, my name is Professor Drews, Dr. Drews, whatever. I try to speed run or at least stream some Diablo 2 for my students. Because when we all went to pandemic mode, I went out and bought a bunch of nice equipment because I figured my students, even if they're not, you know, actually in the classroom with me, at least deserve a decent Zoom experience, right? Not a... I've heard a few too many meetings, as I'm sure some of you have, using the default cameras and microphones and stuff like that, so spend a little bit of time and effort trying to make it halfway enjoyable for the students. Oops, I ran all the way out and around there. I wasn't even paying attention. We had already gone to 3. And a couple of them said, hey, why don't you actually stream something? And I was like, okay, I don't really know how to do that, but we'll give it a shot. And about the only game I'm at all half decent on. is Diablo. So that's what we got. Do I have a class on world records? I would be a very poor instructor on how to get world records. About the only thing I would do is say, go watch, you know, Bender or McCall or somebody like that who actually knows how to do that. If you want to come here to hang out, please by all means do. But don't confuse me for a speedrunner. That is very much not what I am. But if anybody has any tips on how to be a better speedrunner, I would be all for them. Because I have tons to learn. I was from Caltech. I mean, still a great PhD place. I like that tip.
Not
Nice.
enough mana.
It's not hitting them. Walk into my traps. Let's head home real quick and grab some pots, because we are out of pots.
Excellent.
Blessings to you.
Heal ourselves up.
There's nothing the right poison can't cure.
We actually need some decent health pots over here. What do I have that armor? Oh, right. Yeah, that's my stealth. Cool. I'm not worried about my boots right now. Just kind of hack our way out of here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Why don't you guys sit down here? That'll be nice. Head over here. Hack our way out of here again. Of course, a dual lord chooses to stand right where we need to go.
I need mana.
Thank you. Next time I should pick the direction that's not the teleport paths. Try to pick the wide open path. Thank you. Which one's over there? You? There we go. Nothing this way, so we'll head back around. Grab a couple of pots as we go.
Good day.
Don't mind if I do. Alright. Let's see what we can do towards the top left. Pick stairs. Not a good start. Throw some stuff up to the top up there. See how we can do. Hey, Ghouler, get off the stair, would you? Thank you. You guys are in my way as well. Excuse me. We will pick a non-stair direction next time, I guess kind of by default, since we don't have any more stairs. Thank you. Let's see if we can dodge around these guys. Not really. Cool. Do we get a third way? Yes. Oops, wrong one. Grab a mana pod. Let's see if we can do this without a health pod.
I need mana.
I'm guessing not. do you guys think? I'm saying no. 98. Dodge him. If you bet no, you won.
There's nothing the right portion
I'm afraid I
can't
don't
cure.
have any gifts or anything for you, though. It sounds like Winston is really upstairs, so... That's not good. We still got until about, like, 10, 15 or so before Winston gets really upset, because around 10:15 he needs to go outside. Cool beans. Oh, did I check that? Yeah, I did. So the double down arrow, we're going kind of up and to the right. Yes, if you can dodge a glacial spike, you can dodge the ball. Cool. There is our stealth. Where's that double down? Nope, we ran too far. There's our double down. So now in the tomb we're supposed to go left. So let's see if I can eyeball what left means in here. I think this would be a decent left start. Nothing here. Keep going over here and see if we can go. Nope, nothing over here. So we'll go back and kind of backtrack and go up and to the left and then left again after that. Excuse you, you're all quite rude. Head off and I don't think it was that tiny little turn off down there. Who knows? The ways of the Act 2 maps are mysteries. Let's kill all of them. Stock back up on some pots here. Go up here and maybe it'll kick off to the left, or just kind of bend. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Turn off good. I think I missed the turn off that you were referring to. That turn off down here? Yeah, go back. Okay, let's go back. I guess I was mentally expecting it at more of like out in the end, like out towards the edge somewhere. Ta-da. Cool. Whoops. Like that. Get some cheating potions.
Good to see you.
Horizontal. Hello.
That is my favorite. I'm hoping that we will be able to kill him fairly quickly. Actually, is he technically a he or a she? Because I've heard it go both ways. Some people have said that Duriel is actually female. And that I don't know. Probably should have at least bought a handful of health pots while we were doing that.
Not enough mana.
I think we can get him. Not if we do that. her. Whatever she... Yeah, I don't know much about it. Get in there. It is really good lore, too. It's kind of sad, but that's the way it goes.
Blessings to you.
Alright, one more time, and then we'll get out of here. Oh, the cutscenes are so good. I'm so glad that they are redoing those cutscenes
Not enough mana.
for Resurrected. I can't wait. Although I am somewhat glad that they removed the weird voices, where they did some of the new voiceovers, because I remember watching a couple of people that were in the alpha, and I could hear those like weird grunts and stuff, and it's kind of strange. I'm really curious what the lightning will look like too. I saw the blizzard, and blizzard was really nicely redone.
Hello.
The lightning, like, it was kind of growing on me by the time things finished up, but like it was a little bit light. Where you at, Jaron?
Hello,
There you
you have done.
are. So I was glad to read that they had sort of like upped
Good
the
evening.
colors
Good.
on the lightning.
You know. Yes.
Sell that. We'll just keep running. So we've still got a little bit of time. We can keep going. I'm just gonna sell those boots. We don't need them. I can go until about like 10:15 or so, and then the boys, which none of you in here have probably met the boys, but I have 2 dogs. One actually sits here next to me a lot of the time. But later on at night, they have to go out or they will pee whatever they can get on. Alright, so let's see if we can pick our 2x6 blocks. We should be in block 1, and it looks like they're off to the right here. And exits only happen on the odd ones and 6. And we kind of generally follow the river. But we're still going to have to check some of the turnoffs for some of the other stuff. So I'm going to run out here. Usually the best I can do is figure out after the fact what the pattern was. Actually, I have no idea how I'm doing on gold either. Right, so the river's running off in this direction. Here's our marsh. I'm going to go back and hope for a jungle skip, a marsh skip. That kind of tells us then this whole 2x6 chunk is running up in that direction. And that would have been, I think, block 3 over there. That was its turnoff. So we're over here looking for the eye. As well as potentially a turnoff up on 5, but it would have to be over on the left. Since, I think it would be over on the left, since the marsh was already over on the right, and I don't think you can stack another one. If it's going to be here, it would be over in that direction, but it may not be here. We might have to go through the marsh. But I mean, at any rate, we need to spend a little bit of time up here, because I gotta find human remains. Oops, shouldn't have hit that. Cool. Maybe there'll be spider forest up here. What do we got? Or not spider forest, spider cavern. Nope, that is the arachnid lair. Got a waypoint. I suppose it could also be straight, right? We should go back to the forest and check straight ahead on the off chance that it split off on the 6 block. Because that happened to me once, or at the very least, something like that happened, which in my mind I think was that. Lord knows if we remembered it correctly or not. Head out straight. So it should either dead end or have like a little slip through to get us into the jungle. If it's going to be the jungle at all.
I need mana.
These are fetishes, which isn't kind of a weird little turn off up here if that managed to somehow wiggle straight, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we're one away from our leaf too, so we'll be able to get back there. I mean, that was a long roundabout to get to the spider cavern, but we did need to actually get out here. So, at least there's that. Hear the wiggles of a spider. And we'll do that. Excuse you. It's quite rude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm gonna... I might be able to hop out of there. Get in there and try and run as fast as we can off to the left. Run. Cool, we made it. He is extra strong. We'll put another one out here just in case. That. Realize I was so busy in there.
I need mana.
Cool. Now, where is... I cannot see my corpse in there. There we go. That orb might sell for something. And we'll go back here. And we are so far away that I don't think... Yeah, we're just going to start from the docks again. Run off here to our 3 block again. The last time that I did this, which was another attempted speed run, we were able to do it at like 3 hours and 1 second. And that was at the end of a spring quarter sometime. Which is, I don't know why I chose to do it there, but we were running on our laptop. Unfortunately, it was on 1.14b. But it would have been, at the time, like number 101 or something like that on the Assassin speedrun. So that was fun that we were able to do that at the end of a class sometime. Sometimes I'll stream for like, on like Fridays before lectures, I would stream for like 10 minutes or something like that. Well, maybe not 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And we would like work through, you know, we'd have a barbarian for the quarter, right? And we'd play a barbarian every Friday. Try and make it through the game. I think when I did the barbarian though, I was playing PD2 because I did not want to suffer through that on LOD. Would not have been... I don't think we could have done that on like... Ends up being like 10 Fridays out of the quarter in 20 minutes. Like you're just not going to make it very far on a classic barbarian. Alright, I lost track of our tile count. So let's put a couple of traps down and try to figure out. Let's see, that was 1. I think we're in around 2 now, so we should be coming up on 3. And the kicks, I think, would have to be off to the right because we've got the marsh, or we've got the spider forest off to the left. That's my guess. And there's nothing we need in the Great Marsh other than get through the Great Marsh. Right, we just gotta run. Cool, so it kicked off to the right. or I shouldn't say kicked off to the right. It did kick off to the right, but it was on block 3. Which is convenient. So we gotta run through here. There's plenty to find out here. Got a little trap happy over there. I don't think that this sort of an area can ever be the Flare dungeon. I think it's always gonna end up being like a little junk spot like that. I think. Stock up on some stuff here. Okay, so it wasn't on 1. But we're still looking for those little turnoffs. Not that kind of turnoff, but from the map turnoff. So that we can find our little knife, our little jidbin. As well as the Flare dungeon. And then I'm thinking what we'll do once we do end up finding it is just running on. Looks like it was working. Just setting a town portal, running out to Lower Crust, and then coming back, because it looks like our waypoint is going to be at a fairly inopportune place. Right? It's not going to benefit us very much to have that waypoint sitting all the way back there at the beginning. And we're going to need a stop here in a moment anyway, just to go back and get some more potions. Check over here for another. I think this is just going to dead end down there. But we're still looking for that Flare dungeon. Oh, we should go ahead and get another Wake of Fire. Grab that ring. Poke our way through here. I think before we get into too tight of a spot like that, we'll just come back here and stock up. 10 FCR would be nice if we needed it, but we don't. Go ahead and grab these. Okay. And hopefully this turnoff will be our both Jidbin and jungle. Or dungeon. I always get the name wrong. Looks like this is it down here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where'd you go? Here. Run over here, little rat. What are you? Thank you.
What a delicious blade. I should consult Ormus.
It's kind of creepy the way that she said that, but you know, whatever works for her, I guess. I had accidentally set my auto split hotkeys to be some of the keys that cause her to say stuff. It was kind of creeping me out. Didn't really care for it. Alright, so we will run out straight here and try to find a Lower Crust waypoint. And then once we either find a Lower Cross or the whatever the next one is, the village thing, the village people out there, we'll hop back into the Flare dungeon. There's our jade.
Jade statue. What should I do with
I
it?
think we have the wife might be coming down.
Not
Oh
enough.
no, she's checking. Do they need to go outside?
Oh my goodness, yeah. For about the last 45 minutes, they
Winston apparently is telling my wife that he is very upset at me right now. Winston, by the way, is an 8-pound dog. He's not a person. But he's very vocal. He knows how to make himself, understood is a good way to say that. So, I mean, we're going to have to wrap it up here in a little bit anyway. That's just as good a timer as anything else. But we'll go through the Flare jungle, dungeon, and see if I can read these okay. So 1 and 2 are supposed to be left. So we're going down here. And we're going to run off to the left here. Stand in the middle of our flames. I wondered who was hitting me so much. Keep running off to this side. We are, like, pretty much done leveling. Like, we're high enough to get out. So it's just a question of, can I avoid everything else? We can also go grab our leaf staff. But given that I have to take Winston out here, we're going to wrap up the stream here and basically as soon as I find the last body part. So that we can take Winston out, and so that I don't have to clean up pee upstairs. Both of the two things sort of go hand in hand. Taking Winston out and avoiding a pee accident. Let's see, left is actually the turnoff up here. So we will hopefully get, yep, this looks like it. Now 3 I know has fixed maps, and there's only a handful of them. I just have no idea what the fixed maps are. So for me, it's always a question of running around until I find basically the entire map over on the other side of wherever it is I happen to be at the time. And I'm never high enough level at this point to be able to teleport, so it's just a question of running around. And I am nowhere near good enough to do anything like a sorceress who would be able to teleport through here. Is this like one of the center ones? You have to like run all the way around the outside. Excuse you. Whoa. Well, there's... what's his name?
Not enough mana.
Winston, did you just huff at me? Cool. So here's our body part. We'll head back to town.
I've not back
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Kane, for all of your interesting stuff. We'll stash these. Well, actually, we'll just put them in here for now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back and keep working on this guy, so we'll have to. Let's see, what would that be? Pause pause that. This is Winston for anybody who's still here. Come here, Winston. Oh, actually, Mir is here too. Usually I have a Winston cam on here. You gonna come over here? Winston, come here. Winston, come here, buddy. This is Winston. He is the source of the end of the stream. Say hi, Winston. Hey. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you want to go outside? I know. Let's go outside. So we will wrap it up there. Because duty calls, life calls, peeing up, or cleaning up pee calls. Thanks for hanging out. McCall, thanks for that raid. That was cool. Appreciate that. Hope you guys all have a nice evening. You have a good week heading up. Do get vaccinated too if you happen to be in the US. You can get a vaccine pretty much anywhere at this point. So that'll help us out with the Delta variant. I will try to get back on probably during the week. Definitely Tuesday. Try to do a little bit more on Monday as well. If I can at least get those numbers saved somehow, we'll keep working on the Assassin, just for a PB, obviously. It's not going to count for anything. But that's that. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy out there. We'll catch you when we catch you. Bye all.